Ahoy my hatchlings, and welcome to another episode of Autocraft. And today we are starting on the KXS Vanguard, the first ship in her class who has finally gotten her name, and oh, it's so exciting. It's so exciting. This exploration ship is one of the fastest in the fleet, and she'll be capable of warp 6.5, which is super exciting. Oops, oh, I just flew around a lot. Today we are going to go ahead and build the interior inside here, as well as the first crew quarters, which is super exciting. But before we do that, we need to head on over to Rusty's sheep farm, because we really need to work on the Nether Hub in this episode. Well, we're not going to work on it in this episode, but we need to get the materials for it, and just having one sheep color is not enough. Which is why, my hatchlings, we must dye all of his sheep blue, which means we also need to take out all these things so we don't have the wrong type of wool gumming up the works. We need to hop up here into his actual sheep area, and we need to turn all of these off and dye all of the sheep. This is gonna be a bit of a project. I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Okay, that took longer than I was expecting. That took about an hour and a half. I was honestly kind of expecting that it's going to take me 15 minutes. Me saying in an hour or in a couple hours was a misspeak. I didn't actually mean to say that, but it turned out to be more accurate in the end. But we now have retooled the entire farm for blue sheep, which is very exciting, and hopefully we can start to get so much blue wool. This is probably still going to take a while though, but maybe only a couple nights to get all the stuff we will need, which is very exciting. Yay! Okay, well, with that taken care of, let's get on to the meat of what I've wanted to do today, and that is building up the crew quarters in this upper section right here. Now, unfortunately, it's a little bit difficult to get into, at least flying around. It's not quite as easy as flying into these things, but this area will be the crew quarters, and I've gone ahead and lit the whole thing up. Downside, I picked up a redstone dust somewhere, so that's not good. I don't know where that's from. That has me a little bit worried of where I might have picked that up. Everything still seems to be working though, so maybe it's okay. But inside this area, we are going to have the crew quarters, we're going to have an aft mess, and we're going to have quite a few other things. Now, these layers are supposed to be directly on top of each other, and I even have it lined up here like that. But I am wondering if what I should do is lift this up by one. That way, I can go right up to the edge of this, rather than having this bit right here, which is not the most brilliant thing. But I've gone ahead and I've gathered, I think, most of the materials that we'll need, or at least most of the main materials. The problem is, this is going to be an interior, and I don't do interiors. Okay, I've done this, and I suppose this is technically an interior, but I don't do themed interiors. I've never done one before, so this is gonna be interesting, and I don't really know all the stuff I need. I know the main building blocks I'm gonna be using, but I don't know what all the details I'm gonna need. So I expect I'm gonna have to be coming back and forth here quite a bit to grab new stuff and go out on adventures. But with that, let's gather this stuff, bring it upstairs, and let's hit hyperspeed build mode. end of Hyperspeed build mode. And you know, I believe this is the first interior we've ever actually built. Now, if we come down here, we've obviously built insides before, because we have the lower two decks of these ships. But there isn't... This is a little bit different than actually building a proper interior. This is... I mean, it is... I suppose it is technically an interior, but it's really more of an inside. It doesn't have that human scale. It doesn't have all those details like this does. And I am so excited about how this area turned out. So, you come in through here, through these open hallways, and they sort of twist around, and then go up here, and oh, I love this intersection here, this three-way intersection. This curve here was so hard to make, but it turned out so fantastic. So we go down over this way, and we have ourselves a nice little atrium with our two elevators on either side, as well as these two large holes here, because we are going to be building a piston bolt. Well, when I say we, I mean I'm going to meet up with Death in a bit, and we're going to talk about making a piston bolt. Now, we go up here, we have to climb up just a little bit, and then we have this hallway, and I love this hallway. It really makes me feel like I'm on a starship, and I love it! Now, the only downside is I did want to put in windows here, but it wouldn't have looked good on the outside, so, well, there's no windows in this craft. But along here, and oh, I missed a couple quartz blocks there. But along here, we have crew quarters. We've got a little station for stuff, as well as beds, and oh, I think this area looks really fantastic and really quite realistic. In here, we have ourselves a bathroom. We've got a toilet here, we've got these nice little sinks with soap dispensers, and fancy mirrors that you can't actually see yourself in, and then these here are supposed to be washing machines, but there really weren't a lot of great blocks for a washing machine. Please let me know if you have a better idea. The problem is I can't remove the wall behind them to stick like a fancy trapdoor on the front, because that didn't quite work. There's beds there. And then on this side, this room I'm not as big a fan of. I love the ceilings in these areas, and these are simple showers, so we've got a nice shower area, get all clean, and I like the floor in here, but otherwise this room is just sort of plain. Now the last thing that I want to show you is this, and this room I am really proud of. Like, for never doing an interior before, for never making a kitchen, I love how the galley and mess has turned out. I think it is absolutely brilliant. We have this lovely counter here, freezers, a little grill, some frying stations, and some washing stations, and more freezers! But not only that, oh, can I get up? There we go. But not only that, we even have these things here, which are little protein resequencers, and we have a bunch of chairs and tables that people have messed up, and we have these little bins for people to throw their rubbish in, where it is immediately vaporized and turned back into energy for the protein resequencers. And oh, I love the details in this area. I love what I've done, and I'm so happy with it. But there is one more thing, and that is this room. Now, this looks nothing like you'll see in Minecraft, because it's not made of Minecraft. It's made of maps, which I suppose are technically Minecraft, but hush. So this is a holodeck, and now unfortunately the holo matrix isn't working quite yet, but I love how this room looks. This is just so cool to me. Now, we won't be able to use it quite this week, but, you know, I would like to get it to use it sometime soon. And then we have a door here that we're going to need to make, but we are really running out of time. Now, there is just a little bit more I think we can add. I think adding just a little bit more details with some armor stands would really just elevate this space. It'd make it feel so much better. Like, it already feels great, but I want there to be food on the counters, I want stuff to be cooking, I want there to be plates on here, and maybe some food, because eventually we're going to fill this area with crew. Not right now, but eventually. Crew are laggy, but we will add some crew before the season is done, just probably right at the season. But for those details, there is really only one person we can go to on the server, and that, Bossman. So this, right here, is Boss's new armor stand shop, and he put it up a week or two ago, but I haven't quite gotten the chance to show it off yet. And, you know, what better time to show off this lovely armor stand than to buy stuff from it? So, let's see, I think we go into this book? Okay, so, take the book. Hold on, or is it this book? Okay, so we filled out the book. I'm gonna ask him to do 20 stands for now, which is 10 diamond blocks. But they're really simple stands, so I've just told him to do however many he thinks is worth 10 diamond blocks. Because all I want is I just want that area to be filled with food, and I want it to look, I want it to look stocked, like you're actually walking in to a galley and you're about to go have your morning meal. But I'll let him choose whatever he wants for the food stuff here. Please add food to the galley and mess on board my ship. I provided 10 diamond blocks, but they are simple stands. Feel free to add items until you reach 10 blocks worth. Do not add people. I will add villagers later for that. Flash! Well, now that that is taken care of, let's go ahead and meet up with Death Dealer. He said he should be by any moment now, and we can sort these tunnel borers. Not tunnel borers. I keep screwing them up and saying the wrong things. Piston bolts! Go ahead and install these piston bolts in our ship. Oh man, I just love these corridors. It just feels so much like a starship. Death Dealer, wonderful. I was worried you weren't going to be able to make it. I had been hearing that you had quite a few internet problems. Oh, hey, Splash. No, everything's okay. So what's this contraption you have for me? Well, you see, I was wondering if I could have a piston bolt installed going from here all the way over to the other side of my ship. Do you think you'd be able to do that? A piston bolt? Yeah, I think I might be able to do that. Now, the thing is, a piston bolt does have to be 5 blocks wide, so we might want to have to shift these things over. Oh, yeah, that's no problem at all. One of the things I was thinking, though, was to make sure that when the piston bolt is built, that you raise it up a little bit, so it's still comfortable to walk underneath it. Oh, yeah, that shouldn't be any problem to do. Now, how much did you want to pay for this? Well, I don't know how much things are going to cost. Well, in order like this, it's probably going to be about 1 billion diamonds. I don't have that many diamonds, Death. Can I use my company discount? Yeah, you can use your company discount. Okay, how much will it be then? Free. Perfect, that's my favorite price. Thank you so much. This doesn't need to be done anytime soon. I have quite a few other projects before it needs to be done, and I know you're quite a busy guy, and I hope your internet... Oops, I'm sorry. I hope your internet gets a little bit better. Thanks, Splash. I'm sure everything will be fine soon enough. Anyway, I will see you later. Bye, Death! Man, he just disappears sometimes. Anyway, I am super happy with how this whole area has gone. And, that means this upper deck, this back portion for everything is basically done. Now, hopefully Death's internet will sort itself out and we can do the Nether Hub next week. If not, then I guess we will be working on this bottom section. But with that, my hatchlings, we have run out of time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm so happy with how this has gone. Bye-bye! Oops!